Hi everyone, it's Peter from PS Sound, and today's video is very exciting for me because this is going to be another unboxing video. I don't do many of these, so I just simply don't have time for that, but I thought, I want to share this with you guys because quite many of you know that I'm into this infinite buffalo madness, whether it's in the car or at home or whatever. I just like the effortless bass response that this application can give. If you don't know what it is, then go to the playlist on the channel and then click on True IB or True Infinite Buffalo playlist, or there's a Chunk IB playlist as well for different applications in cars. So today, why is it special? Some of you might have seen that I sold my old, my previous 18-inch subs in my personal car. First I started off with Acoustic Elegance in my Honda 3 years ago, and I had two 15-inch drivers. And maybe I just cover quickly why the change happened, try to keep it very short. So the specs on those drivers just look absolutely fantastic for the application. And I had two 15s, the IB15AU drivers in true IB through the floor. That was the first thing that anyone ever, you could ever see, because before that there were not many videos showing anything like this, and I was over the moon with the application. It did everything what you ever want, and the only reason why I changed them out, and I had the FI IB3 18-inch drivers in my car for nearly 2 years now, because when I had the two 15-inch Acoustic Elegance first, that was the year when I qualified for the Eurofinals in a SPR class, which started off as just a laugh. I had no intentions to do SPR because I know, you have to do silly numbers, especially in the class I was. I would have had to do like 155 on music in my class, which was a trunk class where you can have a box or anything up to the top level of the rear seat. And then, I was against a car which had like 4 15s in a huge ported box on bloody 40 kilowatt. So how do you compete with that with two 15-inch IB subs? It's just pointless, especially with a disc that plays in between 34 and 36 hertz at that time. IB subs come alive really under 25, and they excel under that down to single digits that no box can ever do. But I qualified for the class, and our UK heads told me that, guys, you gotta go to Eurofinals if you qualified. You have to give it a go. You might be very lucky, it might be a small class and you walk home with a trophy. So I was like, okay, I try my best. Then I take the two 15s out. I put those two 18-inch FIs in, hoping that I would have more corner area, 1.5 times more corner area, 3 times more excursion or moved air. So I thought, that would play a big role, and I could also give them more power than for the two Acoustic Elegance 15s. Although when I modeled it, I could see that the FIs are not that sensitive as the Acoustic Elegance in the upper bass range. And yes, when I first measured it at home, I could see that, actually, even if I have more corner area, double the power, I might just get quieter on the test disc. And yeah, that's what happened. Because the two Acoustic Elegance 15s in my car before did 135.5 at 34 hertz, 34, yeah, my console, fucking hell. So it was 34 hertz, 135.5, which is not a lot when you're against the car doing 155, But it was doing way better low end, it was doing 140 at 19 hertz from 127 watts. It's crazy. And the two FIs did 134.8, so 0.7 of a dB less than the two 15-inch drivers from half the power. Sensitivity, never forget that. Yes, but the FIs were monstrous under 25 and especially under 20 hertz. That extra excursion and cone area played a big role in the game, but I was never really over the moon with the actual sound, because they were good fun, and for everyday people it does what they want. But for me and for my project in the Honda, where it's always been about the ultimate sound quality performance with the added madness, of course. They were not that musical, they were not that transient, and they were always a bit sluggish and you know, muddy. And I wanted to get out of that. It was good fun, they were inexpensive, they did last well, you know, considering the abuse that they got in the last 2 years. Everyone who sat in the car, we went crazy to absolute, you know, full excursion, hair trick madness at times, and they handled it really well, I can't complain. But that was enough. So they had to go, and I wanted to go back and chase my ultimate sound quality. So many people wanted to know what the replacements would be, and hopefully these are the last subs. Yeah, the last subs I will ever use in the Honda. And I went back to Acoustic Elegance. But I told to John, who's the owner of the company, that I would want something rather special. I don't want any driver off the shelf, although he makes everything on order. He doesn't keep speakers on stock, but I told him that, okay, I want something super, super special. And we were looking for options. We went through specs, what would be the best option for me, for my car, and for my requirements. And I also told him that I would want to see cosmetic changes. So we went for two 18-inch IB range subs that he doesn't even list on the website, but he made few of them for few people. And these are going to have, well, these have right here, they have the Apollo upgrade, and they also have some other really fancy things which will set them apart from anything else on the market. And then I thought to share it with you. Let's cut it up. Enough of talking, enough of introduction. It was way too long. Hopefully you are still with me. Yeah, 7 minutes, Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's see if they survived the long trip from the US. For most people, the packaging looks very simple and they think it's not protective enough, but I think it's not the case. John packs them really well. The quality of the cardboard is really good. It's really thick, strong, durable. It's also white, so it helps with any dents or anything. So you can easily see that had a little dent there, but there's nothing there, because you will see the way the speaker is packed inside. It's quite clever. To be fair, many sub manufacturers do the same thing. So carefully. That is quite a view, guys. You will see in a second. Jesus. Whew. All right. Okay, how to show it to you. So, underneath the magnet, there's a really thick foam that the magnet sits into, so the sub cannot move anywhere. And on the top, there's like a U-shaped foam sitting over and under the basket. So it's locked in at four corners, the sub can't move in any direction. If the box gets a hit in the corner, it's not going to reach the box because it's miles away from it. The only place where it can get a hit is where these foam supports are, but they are pretty strong and durable. And it looks like it's all good, so I just have to pull it out, which is a bit difficult because it's difficult to play it out unless you break those foam bits on the sides. Maybe I can play it out. Yep, it's out. Whoa. Put that there. All right. Okay. So, where are we? So this 18-inch driver don't have the classic rubber surround like all the other drivers have, the 10, 12, 15-inch drivers. It has this PA style impregnated surround, and people would think that it doesn't allow enough excursion, but it's not the case either. It gives more than enough excursion. And just like any other Acoustic Elegance subwoofer, the suspension is really soft, so it's relatively easy to move. People would think that for IB subs you require really stiff suspension because you don't have the support of a box, the control of a box over a subwoofer, and then they have to be stiff. No, it's the opposite. You know, better IB subs always have soft parts, and ideally you want really low FS. I'm always looking into, like, you know, as low as possible to 20, if not below. I think these are below 20 Hertz. High VES, high QTS, anything above 0.5, ideally 0.7, but of course it depends on whether you have a trunk IB application or a true IB application and the airspace of the car. But things I rather look at is sensitivity. Sensitivity is super important for me. I don't want massive big power pushed into subs to make them play music, you know. You want sensitivity and low inductance. So the sub is capable to play the upper range effortlessly too. These Acoustic Elegance drivers, the 15-inch I used in my home setup, played up to 2 kilohertz linear. People would never believe. You put in a really thick surround, high excursion subwoofer with super high inductance, and they won't play anything above 200 Hertz. They're just not capable. They are, you know, they were built for thousands of watts, and that's what they do. They just turn big power into motion and burp and wind and that shit. But I'm not after that. I want to hear every single note, even the tiniest little details, and these are super fine for that. Okay, let me just soak this in because we went for a very, very different look. Oh my god. So, okay, let's take it closer. So this 18 has a different basket compared to all the 15s. This has a 6-spoke basket, as you see, quite robust. And the motor structure is the main part. So we went for the Apollo upgrade, so you can see the extra plate there that changes the inductance of the sub. If it was used in home audio, that would be crucial. For car audio, it's not, but I just went for it because it also adds just a tiny little bit more room for coil movement. Not if without it you would ever have the chance to backplate the speaker, but this definitely gives more room for that too. And it just looks better. And we went for a copper finish on the plates, because you will see once it's in the car, all my amps and everything in the trunk is black and copper. So that's just the cosmetics of the whole sub, but even the specs, take it closer a bit. Yeah, that took quite a long time and a fair amount of money to get that done properly. Because it's not painted, it's done really properly. It's cooked and, you know, coated. So I have to be really careful with it not to scratch it. And it has my name on it. Yoo-hoo! Good stuff. Single coil, 4-ohm. I don't know whether I can show the tinsel lead, but it's as you see, it's nicely sewed into the spider, so you won't have a chance to hit the cone and cause any flapping or anything like that. It's just a really good quality sub. It's nothing fancy. For an 18 you would expect massive magnet, you know, weighing 100 pounds and something ridiculous. I think this is also around 30 pounds, but considering for the size of the sub, it's relatively light. Yeah, it's beautiful. So yeah, this is my new baby for the Honda, and they will play in true infinite buffle through the bottom of the car. Yeah, lovely. If they play just as good as the previous 15-inch IB15AU, I'm already happy, but I have now the extra cone area and a bit more sensitivity, so I think I should be fine for good. Well, it's always dangerous to say this, that, you know, this is my last sub, or, you know, I won't have anything else in the future, because then people start to become skeptical, because they know me. I change a lot, I test a lot, I have gone through so much equipment in my own car and in customers' cars as well, that it's probably, yeah, it's not normal, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna pack the other one out as well. I don't show that to you because it's the same sub. I just want to make sure that it's intact, and then quickly run through the rest, because I have a few more beautiful drivers from Acoustic Elegance for different cars and applications. All right, so next up is an IB15HT, which is the home theater version, but we will still use it in a car, because I am supposed to have a BMW M3, an E46 project coming up soon, and we wanted just a single 15 in his trunk, and I was looking at the specs and this seemed to be pretty good. Plus he also wanted a bit flashier look, so we went for the Apollo upgrade. It's kind of stupid, because that's not what the Apollo upgrade is for, but it changes the look of the sub, and I know for some people that matters too. Okey-doke. Oh, it's well glued down. Bloody hell. Yeah, he hot glues the cardboard to form bits, so it can't really open up. Oops. Well, the hot glue is so good that on this one it actually pulled the the foam out. And this one is feeling the same. Yep. Okie doke. Let's see this little baby. Alright. So as you see inside, there's a foam underneath, so the magnet slots into it. You can't move anywhere. Simple yet effective. And so then, alright. So this has the rubber. Well, I'm not even sure what it's made of, but it's really soft rubber, and single coil, single 4-ohm with the extra plate. Actually, John, I'm not too sure that this is supposed to be the plate for that Apollo upgrade, but he will tell me, unless we lost that information in the order, because we changed the list, Jesus Christ, so many times, back and forth, and then one of my clients changed one of his subs, which is going to be the next one, I think, getting opened. He changed that super last minute. We confirmed the order and I was about to pay it, literally 10 minutes, and then he was like, oh, actually, I've decided to sell my car, so in the other one I would need a different one. I'm like, whoa. Thanks God John didn't start to manufacture the speakers yet. We will see. Nice and neat driver. This should be fun, and they have pretty high excursion considering, and they can move a lot of air. Yes, it's not your classic SPR type crazy sub, but they are very, very musical, and I would have it in any saloon or sedan, as you know, this application than any box, that's for sure. Then the next one, this is the SBP. So this is the most common people use in trunks, the SBP 15. Because the specs are more suited for the smaller airspace that a trunk gives. If you want to go for true IB, I would go for the IB range. Okay. And then I will have two more subs. Well, actually, they are the same, so I will just open one of them. I'll be getting to that very shortly if I can open this. Yep, it's well glued. Whoa! Really, really well glued. Can't even open it. Okay. So let's see this one. Alright. Yeah, box looks intact inside. Let's see this sub. Okie dokie. So from the face it looks pretty much the same. It's just the motor structure is different on the SBP. There's a larger top plate on them. Looks like a really nice and tidy sub. And he's going to have it in a E-Class Mercedes trunk for his SQ setup. Actually, as his demo vehicle for the business, he was the one, to be fair. It's Lee at Platinum In Car who introduced this Infinite Buffalo Madness to me, because he's been doing it for ages. People think that, you know, I invented this, but no. People did it 20-30 years ago. It's just that's not where the industry has been heading, because it's cheaper and easier to sell boxes, you know, quick. You buy prefab boxes, chuck a sub in, chuck it in the trunk, off you go. Whereas these subs require a very specific application and installation, and it's installation time what many people don't want to pay for. Whereas I always say, you know, buy the right sub, install it properly, that will have way better result than buying super expensive, super duper marketed, you know, subs in fancy prefab, not prefab, but custom fab boxes, stacked, perspex, whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it looks nice, but sound is the main thing in car audio, not the look. These subs don't look anything crazy. They look classic, really classy. Okie doke. So the last one, a pair of them. So you could see that in one of my latest projects I installed two of my old IB15 AUs in one of my customers' car in a BMW F90, was it an F90? I think so. M5. And the subs sounded beautiful, way better than what we ended up with. But he saw my two JBL GTI 15s in the living room, and then he was like, "Pete, why didn't we go for those?" And I just said, because you didn't want that extra weight. So I never thought that I would suggest those to you, which actually work pretty well in IB too. And we ended up putting those JBLs in. So these subs, these are the OB15s for open buffalo application. I'll just double check. Well, the Depot 15. So these are dual voice coil in theory. Once I pull out, you will see it's dual voice coil, 8 ohm each coil, so I can wire it to 4 ohm in my home open buffalo speakers. They are currently the best for this application according to the specs. Really stupidly low moving mass, really low inductance, very sensitive. They hardly require any power, and yeah, these are the ones that look absolutely fucking crazy. Sorry, I'm swearing. So there you go. So this is very, very different, because instead of a dust cap you've got that face plug, and at the bottom you have an absolutely huge top plate. Yep. It's also, you know, it's nice to see your name on the little sticker, who it was built for and when. The 1st of July. So yeah, not a long time ago, 3 weeks ago. Stunning. Dual voice call, 1 terminal each side, and these will be in my open buffalo speakers in the living room. Yeah, stunning speakers, Jesus Christ. Yeah. All right, so guys, this is it. It has become a pretty long video. Oh yeah, we are gonna be close to half an hour. I think I will have to make a separate video soon about power requirements for IB application, because I get this question all the time from everyone, but I can't include in this video now. It has to be a separate one and just only talk about that. I will show to you how impedance curve affects power consumption on the subs, how to pair subs with amplifiers, and how to prepare for the electrical charging system in the car if you want to use this application, because many people overthink it, or just they are just wrong. Yeah, now you can see that this is a very, very different level of car audio, not your usual marketing type bullshit, I just say, when, you know, they show really expensive speakers. Not if these were cheap, to be fair, especially for me in UK. It's rather difficult to go through the imports. Now we need different, all sorts of craziness. I had to apply for 2 different numbers just to get the speakers through the customs. 3 years ago when I ordered last, I didn't have to deal with much. It was pretty straightforward, but now I had to deal with way more to get these to my door. But they were here in a week. John sent them out a week ago, although production can take time, because he's a small business as far as I know, and he makes everything in order. So depending on when you place an order and how much workload he has, sometimes you can wait anything between 1.5 up to 3-4 months. So it's always worth to talk to him, or if you want to get these subs through me on this side of the pond, then it definitely needs planning. You can't just walk in and say that this is what I want. You will have to wait for it. But then most of the times these projects where we use these really special drivers, these projects are planned way ahead, and planning is always super important. I say it all the time, and that way you can get something very unique, very special, not your usual, let's install my speakers, you know, upgrade my speakers and then change the navigation in the car. This is a very different field in car audio, I think. So guys, hopefully you like this little unboxing video. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. Go to the playlist. Many people don't know I have playlists on the channel. Then you can see different topics, different projects, different builds, and yeah, just share these videos, and then people can, you know, have a bit wider view on car audio and what's really possible. And as always, you know, feel free to comment, and hopefully I can bring the next one to you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.